Hello. This time I'm going to do a video about Chimaera or Chimaera Games. Before I start, I'm going to do like last time and give some updates. So after one of my videos I realized that I was missing some of the games, so I managed to locate the missing ones. So Little Big Adventure 2, Arc Fatalis Collector's Edition. I'm not quite sure if it's in English or in French. Kaya, I did not have this this particular version. And Explore, with complete with the manual and everything. And regarding Explore, I contacted Denis to see if he had some remaining assets from the game. He did not have many things, but one of the artists happened to have some backups. So there is a lot of graphics in a voxel format, and some of the tools which are apparently working, but it's Windows 98, did not run very well on my machine. So in order to do some nice videos, I will have to install some virtual machine because it does not run very well on modern Windows. I also found some of my old Adeline Games t-shirts. So I was talking about Bewitch, which become Kaya. So here we have a Kaya t-shirt with the Boomy logo, and some Verali t-shirt with work in progress 4 to 5 March 1999, and then infogram Verali 2 Championship Edition, the good old white Eden logo made in Eden Studio, and another one which is more or less the same, but with some barely visible Verali 2 logo on the background. That was apparently added after using some steam iron, so it did not survive a washing machine. So, Chimaera Games. Chimaera Games is an adventure that started in April 2000, or a little bit before. We've been discussing the topic of making our own games with former friends for a long while, mostly when we were busy during crunch time or getting sad about management decisions. So we decided to make our own company. Ultimately it did not happen, but we've learned a lot. So I printed some of the documentation I still have. I also have a lot of emails. As you can see, 2,729 emails in this folder. But here is some of the documents. So we had to make a bio for the team to indicate why a publisher should work with others. So who did work on what. So that's the list of all the games people worked on. So Cedric, who is also the co-founder, who worked at EA, worked on Agent Under Fire, James Bond. Emmanuel, Alexis worked on Need for Speed 5, Porsche Unleashed. Emmanuel, Alexis and myself worked on Verali 2 Championship Edition. The people who stayed at Adeline when we left, when it became no cliché, worked on Toy Racer, so that Lionel, Frédéric, Paul-Henri, Didier and Arnaud. And also worked on Toy Commander, the same person. The people who were still working at Doki Donkey, like Jean-Jacques, work on Tiger's Honey Hunt. Jean-Jacques, Alex and myself worked on the Smurf on PlayStation. Cedric also worked on Road Rash 3D. Three of us worked on Explore. a bunch of us worked on Little Big Adventure 2. Many of us, basically where we met, worked on Time Commando. Same thing with Little Big Adventure, and that's all. So the way it worked is that at some point I was working at Eden on Verily 2 Dreamcast during probably the worst amount of crunch I ever did. My girlfriend at the time basically did not see me. I was just going back home, sleeping, taking shower, leaving, and that's about it, including weekends. And Cedric was working at EA in the USA, was kind of wanted to come back as well. So here is the mail that basically started it. I'm going to try to translate that. Hello everybody, I'm not sure what Emmanuel already told you, but roughly the idea is to create a studio where we build games in a rational way, taking a maximum of pleasure doing them, respecting delays, making money, and everybody has some future in the company. What it means is that it should not be too creative or too risky, but we need to have some compromise. So suggesting 2 lines of development. On one way, making money with mass market products with a high rentability, and on the other hand, trying to build our own IPs, intellectual properties. And then he suggested to do some Game Boy development for making money, and on the side making some real development on big consoles. So here is the thing, nothing has been done right now, everything is to be done, so we need to discuss how to organize and what to work on. Then Kid, Didier answered. The first rule of the association club, because there were no name at the moment, is you do not talk about it. And the second rule is you do not talk about it. And that was important because we had suspicion that maybe some of the email were being tracked. So it was important that nobody get caught, because we are still all working in our companies. So yeah, so Kid discussing about Game Boy, knowing that it's maybe not interesting for the artist, but if it's a way to start up thing, why not? And same thing from Lionel giving his own opinion. So it's just to give you an idea of the type of long email we were writing. And that's my first email sent on this list. Hello everybody. First, excuse me for not having answered to the mail earlier, but I only switched on my home PC only 3 times in 2 weeks. It kind of looks like my position as Verily 2 Dreamcast lead programmer, which is also working on a lot of things in theory, and despite it's not to him to work on, tends to take a little bit of time. So before we start discussing important thing, I suggest a practical thing to automatically sort mails is to add a plop in the topic. Plop, why? Yeah, it doesn't mean anything, but it's practical to sort automatically, and it's more discreet if somebody is looking at your computer than Project Freedom or Project I want to get out of the company. Also, be careful with your windows, don't leave a confidential thing in the last document, blah 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 blah, list of emails, so well. And then I start about why I'm interested by the topic. And things, reputation, reasons, probability of managing, etc. etc. And postscriptum, please, I repeat again, be discreet. I would rather not get burnt before I get my Verily 2 Dreamcast bonus. I really need this money if I have to be a stock owner of anything. And from there, we basically, so as I said, exchanged 2,000 emails. going from April 12, 2000 to July 13, 2002, when we decided to give up. So we had some multiple game ideas. I suggested in May something called Jungle, which would become Flint O'Connor and the Jewel of Halin. And the kid suggested Nightmare, which may or may not be evil there because things evolved. And we brought people in once at a time, and then some left because it was too long, and there were discussions about design, which type of hardware, equipment, making the business plan, deciding the name, contacting companies that give money, contacting publishers, etc., etc. What we managed to do is to actually, well, first it was almost 2 years, more than 2 years, working pretty much every evening. You can compute the number of emails per day. July 18, July 18, July 18, July 18, blah, 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 all that in the evening. But we actually had a lot of things done, including contacting companies like Ernst & Young to get some valuation of our business plan. The ANVAR, which is a French organism which give money to startups and companies which try to do things interesting in research. We managed to actually get a real accountant, attorney, on a bank working for us for free, and the idea was that as soon as you get a publisher contract, anyone is going to give you 1.5 million francs for the pre-production, no problem, that's trivial. And so basically they worked for us on the guarantee that if we got this thing signed, we would work with them for a certain amount of years, and this time paid. So basically it was a bet, which was good for us because we didn't have much money to invest, and ultimately we learned a lot of things. So I did not print out the business plan. These things are very boring. Try to imagine 50 pages of diagram and explanation and repartition of who's getting how many percent of things. I think what's more interesting is a game. So Evil Slayer was not my idea. That one started from a suggestion. I had played Indiana Jones game, which were absolutely terrible, so I wanted to do a good one. That's the first design rewritten by the actual designers from my idea. So we started from Michael proposition, which is a game happening in the jungle with a Livingstone style hero. Something that could really beat the latest Indiana Jones, which really is a shame. So linear track, but with a story which is designed so it looks like it's not linear, but it actually is. No need to spend months doing multiple branching things. The character has a notepad in which he writes down all the thing he's doing. You only control one character, you start in a crisis situation, etc., etc. And with evaluated the gameplay duration, something like that. So we got a lot of mood art graphics, and this is the big thing. Wow, that was interesting. Okay, yeah, so I got the printer wrong. So we have an entire storyline. It's all colored and graphical, and the idea was really to try to get something that will be interesting for publishers, not just something that looks like it's been designed on a tablecloth. So we had a bunch of characters. Flint O'Connor also known as Headbutt. He's a principal character, the hero. He was born in the 20th century, January 1st, 1901, in Sydney, Australia. The O'Connor family arrived in Australia in 1851 from Ireland, blah blah blah. Therefore, the player is entertained to see the evolution of his character while becoming a genuine hero. So, the idea is that at the beginning of the game, the hero is an alcoholic with a bit of pot belly, sagging shoulders, and the more you play, the more it morphs in some hero-looking character. Like the challenge makes him go back to his who he should have been. And it all happens in Asia. So you can climb and you can jump. And in the typical Indiana Jones things, you are looking for some mystical stuff. In this particular case, it's based on some books from Taylor Dujardin, or no, Taylard something, about the missing link, which is the Yeti, the missing link between the humans and the apes. So there's a part about how to do various actions, how things will be modelized. So there are not many polygons, but you have to remember that this is 2001, that's basically PlayStation 2 era. We are not yet having machines with shaders, something like that. So it all has to be very, very optimized. Auguste Olafson, Géraldine Carpentier, a French archaeologist. Ah oui, Charles de Pierrard. Yeah, that's, well, truly inspired of the real Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. Yeah, I was not that far. He participated last year in the Yellow Cruise, financed by Citroën. He's a leader in the archaeological expedition in which Géraldine takes part. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Crossing the jungle, finding the parachuting spot, and fleeing to the Kalyani temple. You can see a guy examining the temple. Escape from the Japanese embassy. Train pursuit with running on the roof of trains. Return to the jungle. Japanese secret base. Facing the German commando groups. Good old Zeppelin that you can sabotage. So the creature does exist, but you have to protect it. The creature is defended by some natives. And here what the creature looks like. And if I remember correctly, this guy wants the creature because it has some mythical blood, which could help him not be lame anymore. Epilogue: the Yeti goes back home limping a bit. He goes away into the sunset. He's the only one left of his sort. He's being watched by our heroes who are happy to have saved the life of the specimen. So, and then the slightly technical part, convincing jungle, how to do that. So there is another entire document. So this one is a GDD, the game design document, and we have the TDD, which is a technical design document, but with a scripting description, something like that. But it's not very visual, so it was not super interesting. One thing is that at the end of the video, I'm going to attach the actual capture of a working prototype, which was made with renderware. That's another thing, which is that yes, we managed to get the renderware engine for free on the same conditions as Attorney and Accountant. So we could make our PC prototype using it. It's never going to be optimal, but it was good enough. And so this is Evil Slayer. We wanted something which was more like action, exciting for people. So survival terror game. On the main difference with, for example, Resident Evil is that here the evil is the building itself, not creatures. So you get things like roof falling down, the floor trying to catch you, weird things falling from the roof, some weird creatures. Characteristics distinguishing it from the competition. The game proposes two ways of playing. Single mode, by alternating personifying Guillaume Roy or Morgan Ward, the player can lead the adventure to its turn alone. Dual mode, two players can simultaneously play on the same machine. Each player embodies one of the characters on the game. Progress in split screen, which come together in one when the two heroes happen to meet in the same place. This mode is also available for two linked machines, but this time each player progresses on his own screen. A multiplayer option is also being considered. Also the list of objectives and why it's a game worth doing on the competition. And we have a list of differences as well. That was actually some old paper I found earlier. Why do we want to do that? We want to recreate a team that we know to be efficient, the 1995 Adeline team, with 7 to 10 years of experience, including 2 to 7 in common. We represent all the type of work, programmers, designers, animators. We've been working with US, French, Japanese publishers. We have the same type of vision for the games, etc., etc. So the reason why it ultimately failed is summarized by this last email. July 13, 2002, from Frederic. So I don't have my actual email because I lost my sent box. I only have the received one. So that's an answer from Frederic on the mail I sent. Hello Plop, yes, I'm reaching the same conclusion than Kid and Mike. We can stop the Chimaera Games adventure proudly, head raised. More than once we'll have stopped that after 6 months doing nothing. But Zeus on the stock market are not with us. I believe, like Nietzsche, that everything that does not kill you makes you stronger. And as a summary, that was a very great experience with motivated people. And you know how much motivation we needed. And generally speaking, in a good mood. Well, there were a bit of fighting here and there. But maybe another time that would be our day. And that all started from that. After having discussed with our marketing department strategy, we decided to not consider Evil Lair. The main reason of this choice is linked to the market and not to your design, because it does not seem interesting for us to develop an offer on this segment of the market. And so yeah, that was my message. Yeah, this is my opinion, to continue the adventure in the situation after what Almari, Motte and Ubisoft just told us recently, that we're more like therapeutic when you try to keep somebody from dying with a machine than being rational. In any case, I don't regret the work we've done. Working with all of you has been very a pleasure, and I really hope that Leo, Polo and Kin will manage to find a job fast. Or why not maybe at Eden. After all, we were not necessarily looking, except maybe Manu and Cedric, to create a company to have a company, but mostly for being able to work together and apply development method in which we believed. So recreating the Alien team internally on Eden Prod will actually match this wish. RIP Chimaera Games 2000-2002. Yeah, the big problem is that between this moment and this moment, what happened is that there's been it was not the internet bubble, but the video game crash bubble, where we got Creo, even Infogram. All these companies started to fall down, like some domino games. And at some point, the final nail in the coffin was when our bank contacted us saying, well, it does not look like video games is as safe as we thought it was. And they decided to stop the thing. And there were no way we could have started anything without money. And it's not like extraordinary offers like the beautiful 100,000 franc 0% reimbursable loan bollocks from the government that could have done anything. So yeah, that's going to say in the memories as a good experience. That's also why I'm now working as an actual programmer and not a technical director or something like that. I know what it is to do all this job. I've done it both at Eden. I've done it. I would have been the technical director here. It's just taking so much time, and I rather actually do things than all this documentation, papers, and selling stuff to people who don't really care. So hopefully, after this fade out, what you will see is a 2 or 3 minute non-interactive video of the Flint O'Connor demonstration prototype. See ya, bye bye.